dad was a man of few words but significant action. He was more of a listener unless you brought up one of his niche interests. If you even mention the Italian mafia, 80s music, or anything medicine related, you better be ready for a lengthy discussion about these topics. My dad had very little patience, but many, many passions. I've seen him go through so many phases. I saw him go through a car phase, an entrepreneurial phase, and even a survivalist phase. So whenever he took up painting, we thought it would just be like all the others, but we couldn't be more wrong. My dad would spend hours recreating Bob Ross paintings. He would meticulously add all of these little trees and clouds, and he loved the term happy little accidents that Bob Ross coined. And if he wasn't recreating these paintings, he was watching Bob Ross videos as if it's some sort of creative ASMR. I would catch him many times lying on the couch with his iPad propped on his stomach, and he would have Bob Ross on loop as he slept. My dad, I think, subconsciously would hear everything that Bob Ross would say, so sometimes he would surprise me with these little random nuggets of knowledge, and he would try to explain to me what they were. I never really understood it, partly because I wasn't paying attention, but I just loved being around my dad whenever he spoke about these little nuggets of knowledge because he just radiated joy. My dad was like everyone else. He had mental health struggles and he was a very anxious person. And Bob Ross alleviated this anxiety. My dad was anxious 90% of the time, but it did actually help his work. My dad was a teacher and an ICU nurse for as long as I can remember. And he would use this anxiety to help him be more focused and more attentive to his patients, especially when he had so many critically ill people in his care. And despite this anxiety, he found a way to ease their minds and assure them that everything will be okay, even if their prognosis wasn't always favorable. My dad would deny it, but he was an extremely magnetic person when he wanted to be. He laughed with his whole body, would shake his shoulders, and whenever you saw this, you wanted to join in with him. Everybody would start laughing, and even if they didn't find it funny, they just wanted to laugh with him. He was just like that. My dad was also this mecca for knowledge, especially anything medical. I and many of my family members had these very strange ailments, and my dad was able to not only diagnose them, but also treat them, which was really cool to have, just, in the next room over. And he also was able to explain what was happening to me and our family members in a way that I could understand. And this is partly due to his history in teaching. And I think with both of these characteristics put together, his teaching and his experience working, he naturally took in new nurses under his wing. And he was able to teach them, not only through his actions, but his words, how to give more empathetic, patient-centered care. Grief is a funny thing. When I lost somebody so important to me, it really threw my whole life off kilter. Mundane phone calls morphed into this nostalgic memory of what used to be. As I stand here and reflect on my dad and all of the wonderful characteristics he had, I'm so thankful to be his daughter. I look at my life and I try to see the influence that he has had on my life, and to be honest with you, it's hard to tell where I end and he begins because his influence is everywhere. I laugh like him, I have his patience or lack thereof, and my smile is exactly the same as him. I miss him a lot, but he lives through me and all the other lives that he has touched while here on earth. I know many people say, oh, it's never a goodbye, but a see you later, but I don't agree. I never said goodbye. And I know that he was always with me, and he always will be. Thank you.